Does anyone else need to write down questions? We have extra sheets if you guys need it. Anybody need? You would like to write a question? There you go. There's two of those. Would anyone else like to ask a question? We're doing it this way, so we got one over there.
microphone to be hooked up, so it will be just a couple more minutes. There's a wired microphone that they're plugging in right now.
If we turn off the music, everybody can be heard.
We'll turn the music off as well.
And just start.
Let's go.
Let's get on with it.
That's like the plane trying to get off.
So much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate your patience while we waited for them to work a little bit on the microphone. They're still working on it. We're hopeful to get a microphone at some point tonight, but until then, you'll just have to really listen up. I'll try to speak as loud as I can. So let's get started. So I just want to welcome you all to our 2025 November TSNA membership meeting. Tonight, we're really excited to continue our community conversation with all of y'all. And we want to thank Victory North for this beautiful space that they provided for us all year this year. We'd also like to thank the Sexton as well for providing delicious food we had tonight. Yes. 6B, I'm sorry, 6B. As well. I did not know 6B brought things, so thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't mean to overlook you.
Awesome bread.
So, again, thank you so much, Brian, and Victory North, and Mohammed for having us here. Having the ability to hold these meetings here this year has been a great gift to us, and we really appreciate that, so thank you so much. And also, I want to thank all of you guys. If you're members of the TSNA, thank you so much for being members. If you're just active here in the community and you came out tonight to join us, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. We really couldn't do it without you. And so just a huge thanks on part of myself and all of the board here tonight as well. So thank you so much. I just want to take a quick minute also to say thank you to all of our board members. So we have Jason Combs here, and then we have Linda Van Apeldoorn, Thomas Worley, Melissa Memory, and Jess Shaw. Kevin Rose is also on our board, as is Chris Jean, and they couldn't be here tonight. This is just a little chart. I'm not going to bore you in the interest of time, but this is what each of these members do every day for you guys on behalf of the community. And I could not do it without them. And I just want to say, in this spirit of thanks, Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Thank all of these guys for everything that they do. Being a part of this neighborhood association. Association is an unpaid job, and it takes a lot of work, and we all put in a lot of time behind the scenes in doing that. And so I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you and recognize them.
Thank you.
And so tonight we're going to move through a couple things. So we have some community updates. We're going to then get some updates from our local city officials. We got Victoria Brown from Savannah Code of Compliance who's going to come up. We have Rebecca Henlick from the Savannah PD, and Katrina Myers, our neighborhood service liaison. We also have, at probably what all of y'all are here to discuss, our featured topic, development in our community. We're gonna have Edward Morrow from the Savannah MPC here speaking to you guys tonight. We're also gonna have a development on the, or excuse me, an update on the hotel development overlay. We also have Michael Condon here, who has a project coming up in our community that he's proposing before the MPC. We have Jeff Notrika here as well from Inland Park Properties, and Travis Stringer from Forum Group. Oh, sorry, got a little ahead of myself. And now we're in this thing. Bear with me just for a second. All right, so before we get started tonight on the community updates, I'll actually no, community updates are next. All right, so first up on the community update will be Sky Benson, who's going to talk to you about a local mural project that he's trying to get approval for with the MPC. Sky?
Oh, I'm first. Wow.
No pressure.
Okay. Nice and neat.
Thank you so much, Sky.
Yeah,
I think
I appreciate this was a last minute addition of invitation, so I appreciate you guys. I am proposing a mural on a building at 401 East 39th Street in Habersham. So if you've driven south on Habersham, you'll see a big, mostly stucco building on your left side with a lot of windows. A building built in 2001, so it's a non-contributing building to the neighborhood. The idea is to do a mural there that embodies the essence of the hostess city. So ideally, one day I'd like to do multiples of these, but this first one is going to be the hostess covered in azaleas, surrounded by live oaks on that large wall for everyone to enjoy here in the community. And that meeting is December 4th with the MPC to hopefully get their approval for that. And I don't know if anybody has any questions
Do you
regarding.
need support to, do you need
Say again?
support? Do you need support at that meeting? to help get
Yes,
it
neighborhood
say yes?
support is encouraged at that meeting. And right now, that meeting, yes, I'm gonna get to you. Oh, I know you.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a shout out on your amazing work. It's beautiful. If you guys haven't seen his work, I just want to let you know he's the real deal. So he would do it just if anybody's going to do it just.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I guess that brings me to a point. I have done municipal murals for like the city of Tybee. If you've gone down Tybreeza Street, you'll see a 160-foot by 10-foot tall mural that I completed on Tybee Island as well as Jekyll Island. Mostly my bread and butter is doing murals for people's Airbnbs or businesses. But this piece is really for me, so most of the time I design things that are for others, and there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, but this one I wanted to do something that would give back to Savannah that is solely my design and aesthetic, and I love this community so much, so that was, I was happy and lucky that the people that are in that building volunteered that space for me to create this piece for them. Yes.
You said it goes to the MPC. Doesn't it go to the monument and sites and monument committee?
Right. Essentially, it's the same thing. So there are two. Yes, there are two. So this is a non-contributing space, though. So it doesn't need to go through those two versions of that. It just has to go through the HPC. Is anyone close? Yeah, there's so many acronyms. But because it's a non-contributing building, it only has to go through like one committee.
Which is the MPC.
Within the MPC, there's like multiples. Right.
We're actually going to dive into that with Edward
Yes.
Morrow
Okay.
here shortly.
Yes, there are multiples. So there is the, if it was a contributing building, it would need to go through the, we need to get a variance with such and such more historic deep dive people, but it's not a contributing building in any way. It is from 2001. It's just a stucco facade. There's nothing fun or architectural about it. It's just a blank space, basically. So no, it only has to go through like one committee, whereas something more in depth would have to go through multiple. Yeah. Yes.
So if we can't make it to the MPC meeting on the 4th, would it help to write them a letter
Yes,
saying we would like this mural?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes, I appreciate that.
Great.
I really would.
So, all in favor?
Hey!
Thank you so much, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Alright, up next we have Alejandro. Alejandro is a local photographer, and he's just going to share a little bit of his information about his business with everyone.
Hello everyone. I'm gonna be weird in a bit of conventional way to promote my work, but it happened that I just moved into the city and Jacob is my neighbor, so he told me we are doing these gatherings every 2 months. Why don't you come and you meet people and talk about the work and that. But I didn't know that it was whole Savannah or half Savannah here, so yeah, okay, that's alright. Anyway, I just moved into the city. I've been living in London for the last 20 years. Freelancing, working with artists, designers in the UK and Europe, working for artists like Barnaby Badford, Lena Peters, Anish Kapoor, photographing still life, for designers, interiors, sometimes some projects for an architecture. So for me it was unexpected to be here because it was more because of my wife, what a job offer. So I've been back and forth the last year between England and here, and but now it's more convenient that I start just to knock doors here and meet people. So I know that most of you know lots of photographers for sure, but there is one more around the corner. If you guys want to collaborate, I'm super happy to help in your projects if it's included like a photographer in it. So as I didn't know about this, I don't have business cards with me, but I realized that I have some prints I had for an exhibition material I had. There are not too many. Seriously, I thought that it was something like small, and I'm just gonna leave it here. If someone is interested, you guys can grab one. But obviously, if not, maybe you can take a photo. But I didn't know about this QR code. So again, my name is Alejandro. Nice to meet you all. I'm not very good talking about myself. Thank you.
Next up, we have Chelsea Phillips, who's going to talk about her new office that's opening up in our neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Phillips. I'm a real estate agent, and I'm white as a dog rescuer and French onion soup connoisseur. This is Hannah, partner. So I'm sure you guys have seen this building. We've been working on this bad boy for years, and we kind of bought it before we knew what we were going to do with it or had the money to do it. So yeah, we just got all the green tiles completely redone and remade. That was not for the faint of heart. So I'm sorry, it's 39th the price.
It's on here.
Oh, yes, there it is. I know I'm not the main event tonight, thankfully, so I will keep things short. We would like to be a resource for the community. Like, I wanted a big office so that we could have clients come work there during, like when their house is being shown, or community members, like there's a big space, there's a roof deck. I would like to offer it free to nonprofits and things like that. And we have a space in the back. There's a like side place, and I would love to, my husband's a bit of a coffee snob, so I don't know if he would be okay with every coffee shop, but if there's like a smoothie bar or a mocktail bar, like something that people are looking for in the neighborhood, I would love to hear about it because I would stay.
Bodega.
It's real small. We might have like 4 things, like I don't know how bodega we would be. But yes, yeah. So
appreciate the support. It is this time of year where we really try to get into that mode of getting people involved in the community for next year. So, you know, if you are interested in joining the TSNA, we really would appreciate it. So, you know, the QR code will be up right now, but we're going to put it up again at the end, so it'll be on the very last slide. You can scan it in as well on your way out. Thank you guys so much for that. Yes, ma'am.
Do you let members know when their membership's up and they have to renew?
Yes, so there should be an email that goes out to you, an automated email.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so up next, we're going to do some updates from local representatives. And first up, I'll invite Victoria Brown from Savannah Code Compliance.
Hey. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Thanks for coming.
This is Officer Pleasant Murray, Thomas Square, Metropolitan. So she's gonna give us. Hi folks, I'm Code Compliance Officer Pleasant Murray with the City of Savannah Code Compliance Department. Today I just brought some flyers for the United Way. They have a hotline number for folks in need. You can also use this as an opportunity to donate if you don't necessarily have any needs at this time. They have information for both. I recommend if you know someone in need, food, housing issues, evictions, things like that, they have resources for that. So you can tell those folks to contact 211. They also have a donation QR code at the bottom, okay? And those are at the back of the little round table. Do you guys have any questions for me today? Oh, we're not doing questions. I'm sorry, I forgot. I lied. Well, if y'all do, y'all can just let Mr. Jarvis know. He'll let us know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
If you'd like to get in touch with the folks in Code Compliance or in other different matters with the city, these are the QR codes for the 311 app, which you can download on your phone. Up next, we're going to have the Savannah Police Department, and we have Officer Rebecca Hamlin.
Good evening. Hello. For the Thomas Square metropolitan area, there were a total of 7 Part 1s, which is a lot now from previous months. It works so there were a few auto thefts involving cars, and then there were a few involving mopeds. So be careful with those mopeds. We've seen that even if the keys aren't with them, people are somehow still taking them. So try to, secure those, out of sight, out of mind in places where people don't see them. There was a shoplifting, and there was a larceny from mail. That report was done online, which is fine, absolutely. If you don't have any suspect information or anything like that, and you're gonna report it with whoever you bought it from and maybe get it replaced, still do a report, and you can do those online. Just do a quick report, that way we get notifications so we kind of know where this is happening. If you have like a Ring doorbell camera and you are witnessing that crime happening, or it had just happened, call 911 and let us get in the air. We might be able to get that that item back for you, or at least get the guy who took it. Hopefully he still has a product with him. And then other than that, and there was a robbery. One of our unhoused individuals was a victim of a robbery. I don't have any updates with that robbery. If anybody maybe witnessed it or anything, there's information on the back of the sheet that I have back there that you can either do Crime Stoppers, or you can give us a call and we can pass that on to the detectives. And that's all I have. And if you have any questions that we don't maybe have time tonight, our information for the precinct is on the back. You can shoot me an email and we can see what we can do to discuss that or resolve that issue.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have Katrina Myers. Is Katrina here from the city of Savannah? Hey, Katrina. Good. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, everyone. The only update I have is about the Civic Center redevelopment. I sent the email out for you to send out the QR code for you all to take the 5 to 10 minute survey on how you want the land around the civic center to be redeveloped. That's the only information I have on tonight.
Okay.
And I have paper copies in the back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina. So our featured topic tonight focuses on development within the Thomas Square boundaries, what's proposed and what the process looks like and how neighbors can stay informed. We want to reiterate our role as a neighborhood association. We're volunteer-led, nonpartisan, and we do not hold approval authority over projects. Our responsibility is to facilitate communication, share information, and give neighbors clear opportunities to engage in the city's process. Our first speaker tonight on this topic is Edward Morrow. He's the Director of Development Services and the current planning at MPC. He'll walk us through the MPC process and help explain how proposals move through the city's formal review. So with that, Edward, if you're here, please come up. Thank you, Edward. Appreciate you. Pleasure to meet you.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? It's nice to see you all. I apologize. I know many of you, but I want you to know that when you send those emails, I do read them. I see your names. And so many of you, I do not necessarily know you by face, but I know you by name, and I do hear your thoughts. So I'll start with that. I am the Director of Development Services at the current company. And I'm going to give you a brief introduction. I have a really bad tendency to provide too many slides. So I tried to kind of narrow down and give what I thought was a thorough but brief introduction so I could leave space for questions. All right, so actually this is a really good point of entry. The MPC, we use it colloquially, but it's really an umbrella organization that houses many different boards with several different departments. So I am the head of the current Planning and Development Services Department. You can see there are several others. We do advanced planning, we have historic preservation, which you all are very familiar with. We also have SAGES. Many of you have used our online mapping platform, SAGES. We house the region's Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is the MPO, which is how we funnel our federal transportation dollars that come down. All of these things are happening under the umbrella of the MPC, and you can think of us best as staff to a series of boards, right? So we are the folks who are providing all sorts of information from an academic standpoint, from whether it be a policy standpoint, interpretation of ordinances. We are the ones who are helping our elected and appointed officials understand kind of the regulatory context behind the decisions that they're making. So I know many times you will see a petition, you'll have a question about, or you'll have strong feelings about how something should go. You'll wonder why staff, you'll wonder why the board, I can't speak for the board all the time. You'll wonder why staff might say one thing, it might be different than the thing you might be thinking. And it's because we're looking at a number of things that, we're trying to help our elected or appointed officials stay out of legal trouble. We're trying to help them understand development trends. We're trying to help them understand kind of the bigger picture when they make decisions. So there are a number of boards here. Actually, the one that the gentleman referenced earlier is Historic Site and Monument. That is December 4th at 4 p.m. So just to make sure everyone understands, everything that we do is rooted here in the zoning ordinance. What I'm showing you here is a picture of the website Encode. And Encode is a platform that many different jurisdictions place their codes online, but this is the city of Savannah. And so everything that we do, in essence, can be tied back to something that you will find here within this zoning text or some other policy documents that I'll point out quick references that happens to be here. You can go to this website and find many of the things that we are referencing when we're walking through a decision. Actually, right here, this box is pointing out the two things that we administer in particular: the subdivision regulations that talks about how we divide up property, and then have even property of a certain size, what the associated requirements are for dividing that up, and also the zoning ordinance, which deals with the way in which uses are permitted. Another view here, if you jump down a couple of sections to Article 2, this talks about all of those various boards, and this is where you can see the description from the ordinance of the powers that are distributed to those boards by the ordinances. This is a great place that you'll find that attorneys are often the folks who are there on the floor talking things through. It's because they're sorting through the nuances that are here in the ordinance. So if you ever have a question, you as a citizen, I'm showing you the text so that you yourself can go back and you can understand what it is that we should be applying. The final one here, the thing that I'm probably going to talk most about tonight, the petitions that you all are frequently receiving notice is about in Article 3 here, you can see a number of the ones that are kind of the most common. We have text amendments, rezonings, development plan review, which is not typically posted unless there's a variance associated, special use permits, variances, appeals, and relief for non-conforming uses and structures. All of these can be found under Article 3. So I just wanted to give you this background, so just in case you've never seen this document, you can go online, it's there for you right now on internet. Next slide. Okay, so I'm going to talk about these 5 most common petition types. A future land use map amendment. So the future land use map is a policy document that we use. It's supposed to guide kind of our decisions for development in the long term. Okay, and this is something that we are currently in the process of updating right now. Plan 2040 has reached kind of the end of its life, and we're now phasing into Plan 2045. And so many of you, have you received a survey to give your input on Plan 2045? Okay, awesome. So take the opportunity, obviously go in, give us your feedback about what you would like to see. Whenever someone would like to do something that is inconsistent with the future land use map, there's an application process to change that long-term designation. It's called a future land use map amendment or a flume amendment. A rezoning, obviously, this is a request to change the specific use that is permitted on a property. While this is a policy document, this is actually an ordinance. Okay? So your zoning is tied to something very specific within the ordinance text. Within your particular zoning designation, there will be a certain set of things that you are allowed to do, either by right, by limited use, or through grant of a special use permit. That means you will come to the planning commission and ultimately go on to council. A special use permit is a request to establish one specific land use. This is not a zoning request, right? So now you're operating within the zoning category that's assigned for you, but there is something there, it will be designated with an S. And what that means is, if you see that S next to a particular land use, it means you may go ask city council for permission to conduct that activity on that property. And under certain circumstances, if appropriate, they may grant you permission. So this is not a rezoning request, it's a use that under certain circumstances may be allowed as long as approval is given by city council. Special exceptions and variances can be thought of very similarly. These are minor modifications to development standards, right? But the difference is kind of the burden associated with each one. A special exception carries a different kind of metric. It's something that would be an undue sort of, it would be difficult. It would be unnecessarily difficult. Maybe not something that's inconsistent or inappropriate. We might be talking about, in this particular zoning district, if you would like to do a building that's 11,000 square feet in a TC2. TC2 would treat 10,000 square feet. Chances are 1,000 square feet may not necessarily look significantly different. And so a special exception would be something along those lines. A variance, on the other hand, the standard is hardship. Now, I'll say variances are where we learn that land use regulations are viewed very differently depending on where you go. Every jurisdiction treats its land use mechanisms with a certain level of care and concern. Savannah has a special relationship with variances, I'll say that. But the idea here is that this would be a hardship. And so hardship takes on different meanings in different places, right? But technically, this is something that it distinguishes your property from other similarly zoned properties, but maybe yours will make an argument that it doesn't quite fit just like the others. So for instance, a variance that you will probably see on the MPC tomorrow, I'm sure we have one, we could say the other thing. Say you have a property that's 3,000 square feet in a zoning district that says it has to be 6,000, right? But you're applying rules for a property that's 6,000 square feet. That's a hardship. That's something, you know, where you're expected to be the standard that you realistically could not be. And so it's that kind of mindset with which we want to look at variances. But these are our most common petition types that you all will receive public notices on. All right. So to talk about authorities, there are 4 different, I guess, places where authority is distributed. MPC MPC staff is the first level. These are things that meet all of our requirements, in essence. These are the things that you don't need any sort of special approval. It's going to essentially meet every standard established by an ordinance, or it is something that in particular plan development, it might specifically say that within a certain range, staff has the ability to give an approval. That range is usually somewhere between 10 and 20% of the standard. If it's just above or just below, that's fine. Staff can usually do that. The Planning Commission, you can see the bulk of the things. When we say MPC, most times we're referring to the Planning Commission, right? So the Planning Commission is one board under the umbrella of the MPC, Metropolitan Planning Commission. But the bulk of these items that you all hear about are heard by the Planning Commission. Site plans are under the authority of the Planning Commission. If you have a general development plan with variance, non-conforming subdivisions, that's that 3,000 square foot parcel in a 6,000 square foot district, the MPC would address that. Special exceptions, so again, dimensional modifications, special use permits, rezonings and future land use map amendments, those are not bold because those are things, those are things where the MPC will give you a recommendation and city council will ultimately make a final decision. But the planning commission plays a role in all of these, and you will see on any given agenda, you're likely to see a nice mixture of all of these things. Then there is the zoning board of appeals, which handles variances that are not associated with a site development plan. That's a whole different discussion. But that's typically things like lot width, setbacks, if you need a front, side, or rear setback relief, or ADU lot area minimum. If you're supposed to have 125%, which is soon going to change to 100, and say you're at 110%, you're at 109%, maybe you're at 70%. You would come to the ZBA, the ZBA would consider whether or not it's adequate for you to put an ADU on your property. So those types of things, as well as appeals, very popular right now. Lots of appeals. Those are also going to the ZBA. Finally, certificates of appropriateness at the Historic District Board of Review and Historic Preservation Commission. There's a wide range of things that they consider for appropriateness, and also historic property designations. You're going to see a lot more of those coming up because we'll have properties that are not necessarily in the district that they'll want to designate and give historic protections. If that makes sense. I'm sorry, I know I'm talking quickly. I told you I'd come way too, but yeah. Okay, so the things that staff is considering as we are making decisions, first and foremost, our ordinance criteria and our ordinance overlays and standards. The things that are written in the text of an ordinance are obviously going to be the first thing we're going to consider. Aside from that, there are a number of other policy documents that are also helpful if the ordinance does not necessarily contemplate a particular situation. The comprehensive plan could be helpful. We're aware of all of those site plans that come through, so we know about developments that the general public may not necessarily have been notified of. Adopted area or neighborhood plans. And so just to show you the difference, many of you will receive, or you will see during the presentation, the map with the color code and the hashing and that kind of thing. It's pretty vague. It's general. What you really want at this level, and I made it a point to identify this, at this level what you really want is a neighborhood or area plan. And it will identify particular thoroughfares, particular corridors, particular parts of your neighborhood where you want to identify and tell anybody who wants to come do development in your neighborhood. You're telling staff, you have the backing of your elected appointed officials with these documents. You want to create this kind of document to tell them what you want to see in your neighborhood, right? The Metropolitan Planning Commission is a broad, comprehensive planning organization. We are not at this time engaged in neighborhood scale planning, but many of the decisions that you want to see, so if we talk about a parking lot on one particular parcel, it's this level of detail that we would be expecting to see as adopted by, ideally your elected officials. It would typically come from these fine folks that you see here at the table, and then go through the process of the planning commission, ultimately be adopted. This is how we say, oh, okay, we know that the folks have decided, they've gone through a public process, people have participated and said what they want to see. So if anybody questions what that is, just know that this is the level of detail that this group should be aspiring to. And there are quite a few folks here, and y'all are very active. This is a great name for the association. So, other documents that are helpful, you guys are familiar with GPS. I know you also got hit over the head with those surveys. They were extensive. It's a deep document. There's a lot of good information there. Chatham County Blueprint, which is similar to GPS kind of a document that needs to be updated. The Housing Savannah Action Plan, the Hazard Mitigation Plan. Those are all things that we will consider whenever we're going into making a recommendation. Honorable mention will go to these other ordinances typically, as well as city staff. We regularly confer with city staff. We regularly confer with city staff in making our decisions. And so I'm going to offer you a very generalized petition process for how it is that we start to go through determining when development is going to take place. A zoning inquiry will come through. We're going to call, we're going to email, we're going to have somebody stop by asking MPC staff or city staff, hey, how is it that I build houses here? Hey, how is it that I put a hotel here? Hey, how do I put some other development or establish this use at this location? How do I get a smoothie bar in the back of my office? Somebody's going to show up and they're going to say, how do I do this, okay? And so then we're going to go over, and we are now having very effective joint pre-application meetings with city staff, where we sit down and you just get a lot of savings in the room. I'm point saving out. This is one of my staff who's excellent. We sit down and we kick ideas around and try and figure out how to help people do things, in essence. And so we talk about the implications of whatever is attempting to be established at that location, okay? From then, we will go on to the site and building plan review process, where we will give city staff, whether they are in, when you said sorry, I'm thinking Mike Rose. Someone like Mike Rose or any of the other folks, Michelle Strickland, any of the folks you may be familiar with in the city's plan review department, we talk to them about the feasibility of a project. Hey, are there things here that you're not going to be able to sign off on? So that we're not giving the planning commission a project that ultimately can't be built just because it's impractical. And I'll tell you very often, I don't know if I'm going to say this, the city has that Disney mentality. They don't want to say no. They always want to say yes. That's a positive thing, right? It's not a negative thing. It's not negative. I'll just say that. It's a desire to want to see things because they want to build out your city. They want to see you have services. They want to see you have amenities. It comes from that place. And so very often we don't get full information, and I won't say that that's purposeful, simply because the city staff, when they receive that petition, they're going to work with that person and try and figure out, hey, these are the upgrades that need to be made. They don't necessarily want that to come through the planning commission process. They want the planning commission to consider the appropriateness, or they want the ZBA to consider the appropriateness of whatever is happening. And so we're not always talking about all the details, right? But I will tell you that we, as an MPC staff, we make every effort to talk to the city, to also talk to the county, because we do switch out of the county, to make sure that we are considering stormwater, we are considering traffic, we are considering all of these other engineered systems that are going to be impacted by the developments. This is a conversation that is had, and I want to make sure that you know that it is part of our process. And so finally, you all really only get brought in at step 4, which is when you are notified by mail, or if you happen to drive by and see a sign, or if you do read Savannah Morning News and you catch one of those ads, that's when you all find out. But it's during that phase. So all of these things have been going on in the background, and we've been talking about this, trying to figure it out. And I'm not going to say that every developer takes our advice all the time. We tell them many things, and they don't always come out that way. But at the same time, they're a person who owns property and is attempting to kind of use their assets in a way that works for them. So it's a process that we attempt to negotiate, attempt to do everyone justice. We want to make sure that we are protecting our ordinances. We want to make sure that we're protecting the public, and hopefully coming out with the best product for all sides. So, I know that was a lot. Hopefully it helped you understand just a little bit more of what goes on at the MPC. If there's time, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Can we save those for the end?
Absolutely. I'll be here.
Thank you so much, Edward. Just a reminder, everyone, all the speakers will be sticking around and we'll be going through questions at the end. So if you do have a question for Edward, you can write it down on one of the question cards and we'll get to that at the end. Before we move on, we also want to provide a brief update on the proposed hotel development overlay extension, which is scheduled to go before City Council here on December 11th. So I'm going to pass it over to Jason for an update on that.
Okay, we are at the finish line for option 0. Last month we got it approved 6-2 at the Planning Commission of the MPC, and next it goes to City Council. That was originally scheduled for November 25th, but we asked for it to be moved back to December 11th, and I got official word today that that's what's happening. So this has been a long process with a lot of people involved, so everyone who wants to be there, I want you to be there, I want you to speak, I want you to be a part of it. Attendance definitely helped us at the MPC. So please show up again if you showed up before, write those letters again, even if you did it once, do it again. Please come, be there December 11th at 2 p.m., plan to be there for at least 2 or 3 hours, maybe longer. And that's it, go Jackets.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. So now we're going to move into our second segment of the evening with our other featured speakers. And up next, our guest speaker is Michael Condon. Michael Condon is the president of Vintage Home Builders, and he's going to present on his proposed special use permit for 21-room boutique hotel at 2512 Haversham Street. Michael, thank you so much. Here you go.
Thank you all for this opportunity to speak to you this evening. I did prepare something just so I don't forget. 66, and so if I start rambling, I forget something. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'd like to provide clarity on our vintage home restoration project in a small 21-room boutique hotel we've been building since 2023. We purchased 2512 Haversham in November of 22 during the height of COVID and received our building permit in September of 23. Our mission has always been to preserve historic homes and buildings and not replace them. This project reflects that commitment. There are no plans to expand the building, so it will be reused in its current footwork along with its 22-space parking room. From the beginning, our focus has been on careful preservation-minded restoration, protecting original architecture, repairing long-neglected areas, and ensuring that this property remains an asset to the neighborhood for decades to come. This boutique hotel is intentionally small scale and designed to fit seamlessly into the character of the area. It is not a large commercial development. It does not have a bar or a restaurant. It is quiet, controlled, and will be professionally managed to minimize impact on neighbors. We have secured all necessary city approvals, permits, and inspections that have remained in continuous communication with city staff throughout the entire process. Every step we've taken has been fully compliant with local regulations. We also understand the concerns about tourism. The Savannah's tourism industry is strong, but we believe it should be managed responsibly. This hotel is not a party rental or revolving door short-term rental operation. It is a supervised, regulated, hospitality-focused property with strict policies designed to protect the peace and character of the neighborhood. Guest screening, occupancy limits, and on-site management standards ensure that it contributes positively, not disruptively, to the community. There are also economic benefits to this project that we hope the neighborhood will consider. Restoring this property has already created jobs for local tradespeople, craftsmen, and small businesses specializing in historic preservation. Once open, the hotel will continue supporting the local economy by directing guests to nearby businesses, restaurants, and services. Additionally, a fully restored, well-maintained historic building increases surrounding property values and reduces the likelihood of life of long-term vacancy. We are and want to remain good neighbors. We hear the concerns that have been raised and take them seriously. Our goal is not only to restore old homes, but to contribute positively and responsibly to the community around them. We welcome questions or further conversation. Transparency matters to us, and we want our neighbors to feel informed and heard. Thank you for your time and allowing me to share this perspective.
Michael, did you want to share your?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, what we have here is just the building as it currently sits. So the color is a little bit different, but really all you're going to see different from what you currently see is landscape. You know, we'll replace the door with something that's age appropriate and so on. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm not used to this. So we're just effectively going to finish the building. The only thing that's incorrect here is that we are required to have a handicap ramp here. So the handicap ramp will take a piece of the front and wrap around slightly to the side. But effectively, it's mostly landscaping on the outside of the building. We're not expanding the footprint, so there'll be no difference in how the building appears as you drive by, other than it'll look nice. There's a entry area as you come into the building. There'll be a lobby where you will be greeted by full-time staff who will be there. designer that we're working with is somebody that we've had years of experience with, and she understands the style that we're trying to adhere to, which is really to be sort of historically correct for that time frame. And the rooms themselves would be fairly standard size in terms of hotel rooms, but again, preserving the historic character of the building. All the windows have been restored, and are all functional and so on. The floors themselves, unfortunately, the building has had multiple lives, if you will, so that the floors themselves are not able to be restored, so that they'll be replaced with light style floors. I think there's one more. And then again, just to show you the sort of the design of what we're attempting to project here. Nice, high-end, finished, small spaces that people will be interested in staying in. Not a party house or some gigantic Airbnb that could be potentially a problem. I think that's it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.